Everyone told James he was going places, and from the outside it looked true. At 31, he had a calendar so full he needed 2 apps to manage it, a social life that looked, from the outside, like someone was really living. Networking events on Tuesday, gym on Wednesday, new side project on Thursday, dinners on Friday, something unmissable on Saturday. He was busy, he was productive, he was adding, always adding. And every Sunday night, he sat on the edge of his bed and felt like he had somehow missed the entire week. Let me tell you about James. James wasn't lazy, that's the important thing. He wasn't someone who avoided effort or shrank from difficulty. He was someone who said yes to almost everything. Yes to the opportunity that could be good, yes to the event that might be worth attending, yes to the friendship that was fine, not great, but fine. Yes to the purchase that he kind of liked, yes to the project he was sort of interested in. He had read that successful people were busy. He had watched people he admired and counted their activities like evidence. So he added, and then he added more. The problem was, nothing was ever quite finished. Nothing was ever quite deep. He had 15 things happening and no real relationship with any of them. A gym habit that had been starting fresh for 2 years. A creative project that lived permanently at 30%. Friendships maintained at exactly the frequency required to not lose them. He was everywhere, and somehow nowhere. Here's what nobody tells you about busyness. It is the most convincing disguise that stagnation has ever found. Because when your calendar is full and your chat is active and you are always going somewhere, it is almost impossible to notice that you have not moved in years. The motion feels like progress. The activity feels like growth. You are too busy measuring inputs to notice there are no outputs. Psychologists call this the busyness trap, the way constant activity creates the sensation of productivity without the substance of it. Your brain gets the same small reward from planning a project as from finishing one, from attending the event as from doing the work. The feeling of moving and the fact of moving are not the same thing. James knew this somewhere. He had read about it. He had nodded at the idea in a podcast while commuting to something he didn't particularly want to attend. And then he added the podcast to his list of things he was getting into. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche wrote that whoever does not have 2/3 of his day for himself is a slave, whatever else he may be. James read that once and felt something move inside him that he didn't have time to examine. Because that was the thing about James's life. It was full of moments like that, moments where something landed, where something was true, and then the next thing arrived and the moment passed and nothing changed. He was accumulating insights the same way he accumulated everything else, collecting them, shelving them, moving on. The sculptor Michelangelo said that the statue already existed inside the marble. His job was only to remove everything that wasn't it. James had spent a decade adding marble. James's moment came not from a failure, but from an accidental Tuesday afternoon. A meeting canceled, then another, then a third. 3 hours opened in his calendar like a gap in a fence he had never noticed before. He sat at his desk and waited for the anxiety. It didn't come. Instead, something quieter arrived. He opened the creative project that had been at 30% for 18 months. He worked on it for 2 hours without looking at his phone. He made more progress in that Tuesday afternoon than he had in the previous year of working on it. At 6 p.m., he closed his laptop and sat for a moment and thought, what if I just did less of everything else? Not quit his job, not move to a cabin, just less. Fewer commitments, fewer people maintained out of obligation, fewer yeses that were really I suppose, fewer purchases, fewer plans, fewer things started and not finished. What if he used a finer filter? He started small. He said no to 2 things that week that he would usually have said yes to. Not because they were bad, because they were a 5 out of 10, and a 5 out of 10 was quietly costing him everything. He let one friendship fade that had been running on fumes for 3 years. Not dramatically, just stopped maintaining it at a frequency it didn't deserve. He deleted 4 apps, unsubscribed from 11 newsletters he read while waiting for other things. None of it was dramatic, none of it was impressive, and slowly, the 30% project became 50, then 80, then done. The gym habit that had been restarting for 2 years became quietly just a habit. He started finishing things, not because he found more motivation, not because he discovered a new system, because he stopped splitting himself across 15 half commitments and gave a whole self to a few real ones.
Here's what I want you to take from James's story. Success is not an additive process, not after a certain point. It is a subtractive one. Every yes is a no to something else. Every commitment you hold out of habit or obligation or mild interest is taking a piece of something that could be whole. Every person you stay close with out of proximity rather than real choice is a quiet drain on attention that could go somewhere true. You do not need more. You need cleaner. Not minimalism. You don't need to own 40 items or move to the countryside. Precision. Rigor about what you keep and why. A filter thoughtfully chosen for your specific life, not inherited from someone else's idea of a full one. The boring version of James, the one who said no more than yes, who had a shorter list and a longer focus, became, slowly and without drama, the most impressive version of James anyone had ever seen, because he was finally finishing things. And the world, it turns out, does not reward those who start the most things. It rewards those who finish them. James learned that. Maybe it's your turn.